have you all, during your course of the day, heard more about bayonets and horses?
That was a good line.
Very appropriate.
That was a good line. I thought when he told Governor Romney that was a whopper, I thought that was another good line.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah, that's just not true. That's the biggest whopper that's been told. I thought that was good.
Yeah, I thought it was amazing that Governor Romney would do research to find out how many Navy
battleships
exactly were in existence in 1916, when that was such a long time ago. And as President Obama stated, things have changed since 1916. So
quite a lot.
I think what Governor Romney was doing was playing to North Carolina, because there, the sailors and the Navy is such a prominent part of the industry down there.
So it's Norfolk, Virginia.
In Virginia, So I think that he was trying to shore up his support in those two states, and that's why he did that.
And I think the president anticipated that, because he knew who some of Romney's advisors had been recently. They had some pictures of some of his advisors, and one of them is a former prominent Navy person that the Obama people knew what his position was as a Navy person, and they probably anticipated that he had fed that to Romney, and Romney would bring it up. So I did think that was that was an interesting line, but I just loved every time that the president said, "Well, what he had learned as commander-in-chief."
Yes,
that was my favorite line. I wish he had brought that up in the first debate, but that's neither here nor there.
So he re-emphasized that he is the president.
Right. And the president also went on to explain why additional battleships weren't needed. It's not based on what the commander-in-chief decides. It's based on the strategies that are used in the Navy, and what Department of Defense shows as their needs.
Okay. And now, did the debates give President Obama more credibility, or did they give Romney more credibility?
The final debate?
All three. As you look at all three of them, but the last debate, weighing most heavily, since that was on last night.
I can't really say that that it was a knockout in any of the debates. I don't think that it was a knockout, but I think what it showed the American people is just how flaky Governor Romney is. And again, I think the core of the issue is not that it flip-flops, but just what kind of character does he have, and can a person be trusted that just constantly changes his stance on an issue. And can you trust this person as your president, that he will keep his word with the campaign promises that he made? Will he fulfill those, or would he flip-flop again once he's elected, if he's elected?
Joy?
I've just never recalled so much interest in recent political history in presidential debates. Not just one debate, but the series as a whole, all four debates. I know we were interested when Obama came to Nashville for the debate. I remember people listening to the debates, but I don't remember it being such a big thing. Now, I think that Romney did score by participating in these debates, and now I see why incumbent presidents are so reluctant to limit the number of appearances that they make with a challenger.
Why?
Well, you don't want them to be able to, going into that first debate, I think that at least I was pretty much sold, and a lot of America was pretty much sold, that Romney was a bumbler, that when he had gone on these these trips to foreign countries, that he had messed up in what he said, that he already had been labeled a flip-flopper, that he probably could not hold his own in a debate situation with Obama, that he was certainly not as good of a speaker as Obama or as inspirational a speaker as Obama is. And I think that coming out of that first debate, that position Romney is that side by side, he did look like, oh, he could stay on the same stage with Obama. What I have been concerned with is that people have been so interested in the debates that I hope that for the future that Obama will see that perhaps his message was not where it should have been going into the campaign, that a lot of people just did not understand, for instance, the full measure of Obamacare, how they benefited from Obamacare. I mean, I remember coming home from a vacation this summer and getting a check as a result of Obamacare, and I thought I knew everything about Obamacare, but I didn't realize the 80-20 rule and what the implications would be to me as a person with my own health care insurance. So I hope that from this point forward that he could do a better job, the president, in getting the message out in terms of what it is that he's doing. But I also think that he has come out from that first debate to show what a strong leader he has been. And it is, as a person who has supported him, it's made me very proud to see, because that's a hard turnaround to make. It's not as easy as it appears to be running the White House, campaigning, and now very much concerned with funds. And I'm a big one that, you know, anyone that hasn't donated needs to donate to his campaign, because they've had to take out a loan of some $15 million recently. So I'm just really concerned about that and about a lot of issues with the campaign. And I hope that he continues to grow stronger and to do better.
Okay. The moderator. So what did you all think of last night's moderator? Well, there's always been discussion around the moderators from the very first debate and the vice presidential debate. So how did last night's moderator do?
I thought he did an excellent job, and some of the advantages that we saw Governor Romney seizing himself in the first debate, we didn't see that happening in the last debate. One is because I think Bob Schieffer, he knew he had a command of the details, number one, and number two, he made sure that both of those individuals, the president and the governor, played by the rules. And we just didn't see that in the first debate, although I thought Candy Crawley did a very good job, but she also received a lot of criticism.
Yes.
I thought Bob Schieffer was very experienced, and at one point it looked as if Romney was trying to take control, but Bob stepped in and told him, no, we're going to go on to what's on my agenda. And I thought that was very good of him to stand up to Governor Romney, because at some points Governor Romney looked like he was very uncomfortable. You could see him perspiring, and I don't know if he wanted to. Well, it was obvious he wanted to say everything that he had rehearsed. Because it didn't sound like he was talking natural to me at all.
A lot of it did sound rehearsed.
It reminded me a lot of Sarah Palin's debate with Joe Biden, when she said, "I'm not going to answer any more questions. I'm just going to say what I remember." Something to that effect. So
that was an interesting time.
Yeah, he wasn't too far away from that.
Wow, I didn't look at it that way. But. All right, so Representative Gilmore, I want to give you a chance to say, I know you made a big push to get African American women out on the very first day of early voting to do that. And I wanted to ask you, how is it going? How did it go that first day?
It was an excellent response. We just have to remember that we have to do the same thing every day. We just can't do it one day and think that our job has been complete. We probably had over 200 African American women that showed up on the first day to vote, so I was very pleased about that. On the 27th, which is the last Saturday prior to the election on November 6th, we have strolls to the polls, so we're trying to encourage all church people to come out and vote on that day. And we also have bikers. So if you're a biker, get the word out to or anyone that rides motorcycles or any kind of vehicle like that to come out and vote as well on that day. So we have to create some excitement. People think, well, Tennessee is a red state and my vote doesn't count. Yes, it does in the overall scheme of things. When we look at how many votes he can get globally, I think most people feel like that President Obama will win the electoral votes. We just want to make sure that there's not any question in anybody's mind, like there continues to be, that President Bush really won that election.
Right.
So we want him to win both in terms of popular vote as well as electoral votes.
Okay.
Also, you never know about Tennessee because there are a lot of Tennessee voters that are in the closet. They will not disclose who they're supporting or who they're voting for, and if they do, they'll whisper in your ear, "I like what you're doing, keep it up, he's got my vote." But they won't say it to their neighbors or friends or the people that they go to church with because they think that that's something private and they should keep to themselves.
Right.
Or there may be negative repercussions if they
exactly, because a volunteer on my team, this is the second time someone took her yard sign out of her yard, and she lives in Castilian Springs. And it's not like she had it. The first one, she said she had it at the end of the road, like at the end of her grass, but she said she had it in the middle of her lawn, and it was stolen. So
that's still out there. Any advice as we wrap up for the president in these last 2 weeks? What would you like to see him do more of or less of?
I want to encourage all Tennesseans to come out and vote, because we focused on the president, and that is important, but the positions down the ballot are equally as important as well.
Yes, they are.
We have every state representative in the state of Tennessee will be on the ballot up for a re-election, and that's where many of these ultra conservative laws are made, sometimes that are not always in the best interest of everyone in our state. So I want to encourage everybody to come out and vote.
Okay.
I agree. I mean, the down ticket is important in U.S. Congress and U.S. Senate as well, because that will help President Obama move his agenda forward if the right people are in the House and the Senate.
And, well, advice to the president, I would just like for him to continue to keep working for us, those who are not part of the 1%. I would like for him to continue to work for all Americans and to know that we're behind them. That would be my advice to him.
All right. Well, thank you all very much for joining us for this forum. And please consider joining us for one more. We have one more forum in this series, and it will be the day after the election when we know the final winner. And the question on the table will be, what's next? All right. So thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.